Namaskar. Hello and welcome to Sunset TV. I am Namrata Singh and you are watching Question Hour. This show focuses on questions raised by members in both houses of parliament concerning matters of national interest. In the Rajya Sabha, members from various parties posed questions related to 8 ministries and sought responses from the respective ministers. Similarly, in the Lok Sabha, members from diverse parties raised questions pertaining to 11 ministries and sought responses from the respective ministers. Now, let's take a look at some of the questions whose replies were presented today. Dr. Sumer Singh Solanki asked the Minister of Health and Family Welfare the status of government-run nutrition programs for malnourished tribal children and women. The ministry in its reply informed the House that reproductive, maternal, newborn, child, adolescent health and nutrition strategy under National Health Mission strategy has been implemented to provide healthcare services through life cycle approach across the country, including tribal areas. Key interventions to address the malnutrition among women and children under RMN CAH plus N strategy are as follows. Nutrition rehabilitation centers are set up at public health facilities to provide facility-based management. Children under 5 years suffering from severe acute malnourishment with medical complications through medical and nutritional care. Anemia Mukt Bharat strategy is implemented to reduce anemia among 6 beneficiaries, age group children 6 to 59 months, children 5 to 9 years, adolescents 10 to 19 years, pregnant and lactating women, and in women of reproductive age group 15 to 49 years in life cycle approach through implementation of 6 interventions via robust institutional mechanism. Mother's Absolute Affection program is implemented to improve breastfeeding coverage to include early initiation of breastfeeding and exclusive breastfeeding for first 6 months, followed by counseling on age-appropriate complementary feeding practices. Lactating management unit are established for providing lactation support to mothers and availability of mother's own breast milk for her baby. National Deworming Day are organized biannually in February and in August at schools and Anganwadi centers for administration of albendazole tablets to children and adolescents to reduce the soil-transmitted helminth infestation. Lok Sabha MP Hanuman Beniwal asked the Minister of Panchayati Raj the details of work being done to digitize the Gram Panchayats and promote e-governance in Panchayati Raj institutions in India. The ministry in its reply informed the House that under the Digital India program, e-Panchayat Mission Mode project has been implemented across all states and union territories of the country. This initiative aims to revamp the functioning of panchayats, making them more transparent, accountable and effective. As part of this initiative, eGram Swaraj is an online planning and accounting application designed to simplify panchayat activities such as planning, accounting and budgeting. Panchayats use the eGram Swaraj portal to prepare and upload their annual panchayat development plans. For the financial year 2024-25, 2,54,773 Gram Panchayats have successfully uploaded their Gram Panchayat development plan on the portal. The House was further informed that the e-Gram Swaraj portal has been integrated with the public financial management system to facilitate the panchayats in making real-time online payments to vendors and service providers and thereby streamlining financial operations and bringing transparency in their functioning. eGram Swaraj has also been integrated with the government e-marketplace to bring transparency to panchayat procurement. This integration allows panchayats to procure goods and services through GEM via the eGram Swaraj platform, promoting the Vocal for Local initiative. Rajya Sabha MP Sangeeta Yadav asked the Minister of Ports, Shipping and Waterways whether the ministry has formulated any roadmap or action plan to realize the goal of Viksit Bharat by 2047 especially in the ports, shipping and waterways sectors. The ministry in its reply informed the House that in the last 5 years, the Ministry of Ports, Shipping and Waterways has made significant efforts to achieve the vision of making India a developed nation by 2047. Key initiatives include establishing new mega ports and developing deep draft ports to handle larger vessels, modernization and digitalization of port operations for improving efficiency, terminal and fairway infrastructure development to enhance cargo and passenger movement through inland waterways, green initiatives including the Harit Sagar Green Port Guidelines, development of green hydrogen or ammonia hubs, green tug transition program, Cruise Bharat mission to double cruise passenger traffic, skill development and support to MSMEs for shipbuilding. The House was further informed that in order to realize the goal of Viksit Bharat by 2047, Maritime India Vision 2030 has been formulated for the holistic development of India's maritime sector, encompassing ports, shipping and waterways. Building on this progress, Amrit Kal Vision 2047 has been formulated as a comprehensive roadmap for the next 25 years. Maritime India Vision 2030 includes 10 themes like port infrastructure, logistics efficiency and sustainability. Meanwhile, Amrit Kal Vision 2047 expands on this with 11 themes including green initiatives, cruise sector promotion and technological innovation. In all, over 300 initiatives have been identified to transform India into a leading maritime nation. Lok Sabha member E.T. Mohammad Bashir asked the Minister of Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairying the details of measures implemented to ensure sustainable fishing practices during peak seasons. The ministry in its reply informed the House that it notified the National Policy on Marine Fisheries 2017 to guide sustainable fishing in the country. Advisories are regularly issued to coastal states or union territories to prevent juvenile fishing and ban on destructive fishing practices ensuring sustainability. Paired bottom trawling or bull trawling and use of LED lights in fishing are banned in the exclusive economic zone of India beyond the territorial waters. The uniform ban on fishing in the Indian EEZ beyond the territorial waters is also implemented for a period of 61 days from 15th April to 14th June on the east coast and from 1st June to 31st July on the west coast. Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana has been implemented with an investment of over 20,000 crore rupees in fisheries sector for a period of 5 years with effect from the financial year 2020-2021. Under the PMMSY activities such as sea ranching, mariculture, installation of artificial reefs and seaweed cultivation etc. are promoted to enhance the fishery of coastal areas and additional livelihood for coastal communities. Rajya Sabha MP J.B. Mathur Hisham asked the Minister of Health and Family Welfare the measures taken to ensure that the genetic information of Indian nationals doesn't get leaked or handed over abroad, whether government has recognized the need to bring a biosecurity law to safeguard human genetic information, and the steps taken to ensure that the unique Ayushman Bharat health account will not get leaked, sold or handed over without the knowledge or consent of the patients. The ministry in its reply informed the House that the research projects undertaken by Indian researchers in collaboration with foreign investigators or with foreign funding agencies which involve transfer of biological materials as part of the research require necessary government clearances. Currently, following 3 committees grant clearances to research proposals involving foreign assistance or collaboration. Health Ministry's Screening Committee of Department of Health Research for projects from DHR and non-governmental institutes. Screening Committee for Research Proposals of Department of Health and Family Welfare for government and government-aided institutes. Department of Biotechnology Screening Committee. Generally, a large number of biological samples from which genetic data can be obtained and raw genetic data from samples analyzed in India are no longer allowed to be transferred to foreign countries. Commercial purposes. The Directorate General of Foreign Trade on 11th March 2024 notified an amendment in the export policy of human biological samples under Chapter 30 of ITC-HS Schedule 2. As per this amendment, the export of items that contain human biological materials, samples, products related to activities governed by the Drugs and Cosmetics Act 1940 can be exported only after a no objection certificate is obtained from the Central Drugs Standard Control Organization. Also, human biological materials not related to activities governed by the Drugs and Cosmetics Act 1940 can only be exported subject to NOC from Department of Health Research or Indian Council of Medical Research. The applications for export are reviewed by a committee consisting of members from MHA, ICMR, DGFT, DBT, DGHS, DCGI and Department of Revenue. Any biological material from which genetic information can be obtained is approved for export only under exceptional circumstances. ICMR has facilitated the submission of application and grant of NOC through an online portal. The National Health Authority has informed that Ayushman Bharat Health Account is a unique identifier for an individual's health record. After creating an Aadhaar, an individual can access her or his Aadhaar only after a secured login. Privacy by design is one of the key guiding principles of Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission. ABDM facilitates secure data exchange between the intended stakeholders on ABDM network after the patient's explicit and informed consent. Lok Sabha member Dr. Thiruma Vallavan Tholkapian asked the Minister of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare whether the government has any scheme or policy framed to implement nutrition-sensitive agriculture. If so, the details thereof. The ministry in its reply informed the House that Nutri-Smart Village has been implemented in 75 villages across India through the network of All India Coordinated Research Project on Women in Agriculture. The objectives of the program are promoting nutritional awareness, education and behavioral change in rural areas involving farm women and school children, harnessing traditional knowledge through the local recipe to overcome malnutrition and implementing nutrition-sensitive agriculture through homestead agriculture and Nutri-Garden. Concerted efforts have led to the development of 171 biofortified varieties including 152 field crop and 19 horticultural crop varieties. These biofortified varieties assume great significance to achieve nutritional security of the country. These cultivars have been improved for essential nutrients with iron, zinc, calcium, protein, vitamin C among others. Off flavor of soybean grains has also been reduced. These biofortified cultivars with balanced concentration of nutrients are also high yielding, thus ideal for meeting country's food and nutrition security. Biofortified varieties are also promoted under National Food Security Mission, which is being implemented for increasing the production of pulses, rice, wheat, coarse cereals, maize and barley, and nutri-cereals Sri Anna. The Government of India has celebrated the year 2023 as the International Year of Millets to promote millets which have high nutritive value.
Well, that is all I have for you in this edition of Question Hour. Stay tuned and thank you for watching Sunset TV.